U.S. lifts sanctions against Syria. The U.S. Treasury Department announced the lifting of sanctions against Syria. In a statement released by the department, it was reported that General License 25/GL25 on Syria was put into effect as part of the sanctions lifting plan announced by U.S. President Donald Trump on May 13th, speaking at the Saudi Arabia-U.S. Investment Forum in Riyadh. U.S. President Donald Trump said that President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had asked him to lift the sanctions. The U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control OFAC announced the lifting of sanctions against Syria. OFAC issued General License 25/GL25 on Syria, which largely liberalized prohibited transactions under the Syria sanctions regulations, effectively lifting sanctions against the country. In a statement, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, as President Trump promised, the Treasury and State Departments have begun implementing steps to encourage new investment in Syria. We look forward to seeing Syria continue on its path to peace, stability, and prosperity. Exemption to Caesar's Law and new investments with the entry into force of GL25. The U.S. State Department also issued an exemption under the Syria Civilian Protection Act Caesar Act, which entered into force in 2020. The exemption aims to allow U.S. allies and countries in the region to consider new opportunities for cooperation with Syria. The new regulation liberalizes activities in all sectors of the Syrian economy and paves the way for new investments in the country. It also authorized the provision of financial and technical services to Syria, transactions in oil and petroleum products, and commercial cooperation with the new Syrian government. No open door for Russia, Iran, and North Korea. 25 does not provide any relief to the former regime of Bashar al-Assad and individuals and groups associated with human rights abuses. While past supporters of the Assad regime, such as Russia, Iran, and North Korea, are excluded from the license. The Treasury Department said GL25 aims to rebuild Syria's financial system, infrastructure, and overall economic structure in line with U.S. foreign policy objectives. The statement also said that the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network FinCEN has authorized a commercial bank of Syria to open correspondent accounts with U.S. financial institutions. A message of a new beginning. A new chapter is beginning for the Syrian people, the Treasury Department said in a statement, noting that the Assad regime's violence against its own people and its support for terrorism had ended. The statement emphasized that the United States supports Syria as a stable and united country that protects religious and ethnic minorities and does not give terrorist groups a free pass. The U.S. administration said it would continue to closely monitor developments on the ground and the actions of the new government. Erdogan asked Trump lifted sanctions. Speaking at the Saudi Arabia-U.S. Investment Forum in Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, Trump said that President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman had asked him to lift the sanctions. Turkey's leader Erdogan recently made a similar request. Our other respected friends in the Middle East have also raised this issue, Trump said, and announced that they would lift sanctions on Syria. We want to give Syria a chance for a new beginning. Trump also mentioned Erdogan's request in a statement to reporters in the Oval Office before his Middle East tour. We are working closely with President Erdogan on Syria. The sanctions that have been imposed do not give Syria a head start. Therefore, we want to give Syria a new chance.